Hey there folks, Jason here again, and I wanted to do an update on my Hail Caesar army project, which has really kind of taken off for me in the past week or two. If you saw my last update, I said that I finished the first cohort for my Hail Caesar Early Imperial Romans, and I said I was moving on to the auxiliaries, and I have done so. And so this is going to be kind of a quick initial review of the unit. I haven't finished painting it all, but I've assembled it all and painted about half of it. So let's give a look at the unit itself. So this is the kit that I'm talking about. It's a plastic, comes with 24 miniatures from Warlord Games, and initially off the bat, cool kit. There's a couple of finicky things that I do want to bring to your attention. But on the whole, I think it's definitely one worth looking at. Up front, I will say that I haven't looked at a lot of other auxiliary models out there, but I do like working with plastic, and these are some pretty good plastic models. So first, let me give you an update on kind of what I've accomplished this week. So you get a total of 24, and so let's take a look at what I've done. So what I wanted, my goal initially was to do, I'm going to zoom in here a little bit, apologies, was to do a total of 8 per week. So I have mine ranked up 8 by 3. The kit comes with, I guess it would be 20, help if I put them on the screen, 20 plastic models and then 4 metal ones, and they essentially form the command group. So I did the plastic ones first. And the kit, the plastic ones come, and I'll see if I can show it here. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 body variations. And I'm going to center these in the camera and pay attention to what I'm doing. So we're going to move these guys out of the way for now. And so essentially what you get is 4 body variations. You can play with the shields a little bit, and here's just one. So this guy is moving forward with the sword, and then you've got the shield. Also, it comes with the decal sheets. You can paint the shield whatever color you want. I'll show those in a minute, and they're custom made for the shield, so it fits really nice. So you have this guy who is kind of carrying the shield and a spear, and then is charging forward with his gladius. So pretty good looking model. And then you get different head choices. And so here's one head choice. It's kind of an ordinary looking head, not very emotive. So there's one. And then you've got this guy, and this guy's kind of charging forward. Well, they're all charging forward with the spear. Let's see if I can get it, how much I can get this to focus. Not much. All right. This guy, I'm not sure how it's going to show up. He's got a mustache. So all the auxiliaries are non-Roman citizens that they serve for 25 years. They get Roman citizenship. So you get a lot of folks that aren't traditionally Roman. So you got this guy, I painted him up with a very blonde looking mustache. And so this is the other pose. So you've kind of got the spear high into his armpit. And again, you can change heads. So this is the second one. And then you've got this guy with an overhead spear thrust going on. Excuse me. And I apparently painted him. He's very capable with his dental work. I gave him extremely white teeth for some reason. So that's a different head option. So pretty good, pretty detailed looking models. So they've got the sheath's gladius and then the dagger on the side. I also base these guys in what I've been doing recently is the MiG European wet earth, and then just some what was this from, Gale Force 9 basing materials jammed in there. So that's the third variation. And then the fourth one is this kind of pose. He's kind of like pushing his spear out to the outside, which I'm not sure how much is a really kind of natural pose, like if that's what you would really do. Maybe if you're trying to thrust around somebody in front of you, that might work. And this guy comes with, when you assemble him, the gladius comes separately because you couldn't mold it that way. So apologies for my big mitts in here, but that helps keep the camera focused. And so you can move the shield around a little bit, and you can change the heads. And this head, I'm not sure if it's showing up. So he's injured. He's wearing a bandage, and you see a big kind of cleave mark in the front of his helmet. So those are I think all 4 head options, and you get 4 body options. So you get a fair bit of I guess customization in the plastic kits. And you'll see on the bottom here, I had to number them. I'm going to get into why that's important. But let me show you the other figures I did. So I got these first 8 done. I got the whole thing assembled. Part of this was because the federal government here in the U.S. and the Washington, D.C. area was shut down this week because of snow. So I had an extra day watching my son at home, and I squeezed in some extra modeling. So don't expect this much progress every week, unless we get a lot more snow here. So I got these guys done. I kind of wanted to charge forward, and this is a 24-man unit. I already had 8 done, so a third of it's done. Like, you know what? I really like to give, and there's one particular of the metal models I really was looking forward to painting. So let's move these guys aside. And so far, I think the plastic models are great. I do wish there was a little bit more. It'd be cool if there was like a 5th variation, but cost-wise, it's probably too much. You'll see there's some posability issues when it comes to putting the unit together, and I'll talk about that later. But let's talk about the command group. So the first one you get, and I think you get these in some other kits too. So this is the Cornicen, and he's just the musician basically. And he comes with a round shield, and they don't give you a transfer for the round shield, so I just kind of painted a yellow stripe on it because I couldn't think of what else to do with him. And he's got he's wearing a wolf skin. Let's see how close I can get him. That's about it. So, an average model, nothing really to write home about. There's this guy, and I'm not sure what function he serves. If he's kind of a leader, he's got feathers in his cap, I'm sure somebody could tell me. But I painted him, I don't know if it shows up that well. Again, as another foreigner, gave him an orange braid, ginger. And you can see these guys are different, because they're wearing, they've got the pants. And if you remember from the other, I'll pick one of these guys up too. These guys have the pants as well. The other command models don't. I'm not sure if that was just a goof up in the kit, or if Romans wouldn't wear pants. There's a lot of the times where these guys served, I'd wear pants, because it's awfully cold outside. But this guy's kind of pointing forward, and obviously he's going to go up in the front row somewhere. And then you have the Signifer, Standard Bearer, and on this you could paint like you do LEG for Legio, and then whatever. I haven't decided what Legion I'm going to do yet. I'm leaning toward the 10th Legion, but not exactly clear, so I left that blank. But this guy is he's kind of average. He's got his gladius up. This is one of the poses I don't like that much because it seems kind of there's not a lot of motion there, and the problem is with like this guy looks like he's stopped and like cheering people on, but everybody else in the unit looks like they're in motion. So it's kind of, I don't like it so much. It seems like an older style model. It's not terrible by any means, but there's that. And there's the one I was the most excited to paint. It comes with a Centurion, and it's one of the best cloaks I have seen. So this guy, again, if you compare with the other model I just was talking about, like this model, this is a metal model, it's an older one, looks like, or could be, is full of motion. So he's clearly charging forward, gladius at the ready, going to get ready to jam that thing in somebody's brain cavity. But one of the things that I really was looking forward to painting, and the gloss is still showing up a little bit, I might have to hit it with another batch of dull coat, is this cape. And the cape is just awesome. I mean, you can see it's flowing back. This guy's obviously got a good chunk of speed up, and he is leading his men into combat. So I painted him similar to the Centurion from the Legionary cohort that I did before, similar painting style. I left the cloak a little darker just for some contrast, but I really like this is for a metal model, this is a great cloak, one of the best I've ever seen. So was really excited about this guy, and I think he turned out really well. So I've said the plastic miniatures themselves are good. The command group is good. So what are some of my thoughts on the unit itself? Well, I'm going to shut the video off for a second, and I'm going to go into why I had to number everything. So just bear with me, and I will be right back. And I'm back. So I went away, and what I did was I put the all the models on the movement tray from Shogun Miniatures and magnetized with magnetized bases. And I wanted to show kind of one of my issues, and it's a niggle. The unit and the kit is fine, but I wanted to show what the unit looked like all assembled. And obviously you'll see that I have the 8. I did the back row, and I finished them, and I did the 4 guys in the front. And let me zoom out a little bit. Oop. Okay. And as you can see here, and I will just tell you this because you may not be able to see it, it is a pain to get these guys to rank up. What I had to do, when I was assembling the models was I put each one down in a row, but before I glued it, I kind of had to stand them up on their bases. It's a good thing that they come with kind of the small bases. This kit doesn't come with larger bases, which will always be an irk of mine, but I would have used them anyways. And I had to make sure carefully not to bump anything, that they would line up, because there's no kind of way that I've identified to have these guys or have the models, there's no clear way for them to rank up. Now you could probably do it, and it might be where if you put all one kind of models in one row or one column or whatever, it would work. But you know, nobody likes to have 4 different variations of models and then have them all look artificial. You want to have a sense of movement and reality in your models, and this kit definitely provides it, almost to a failing, where if you can't rank things up easily, it's a challenge. The other thing that kind of bothered me with this a little bit, and it goes into what little reading I've done on the difference between kind of the stereotypical differences between the legionaries and the auxilia, the troops there, is like there's this perception out there that the auxilia were just like the backbenchers. They're not as good as the legion. They're there kind of the scrub troops, the guys you throw into the meat grinder, then you throw the real legions in, where I think the consensus seems to be that they were in many cases just as good, or in some cases more motivated than these troops, and or than the legions, especially some of the younger legions, or if the legions out in the east. The way this looks is, so this unit is just kind of charging forward. You do get this sense of dynamic movement, except for that guy. Everybody else is kind of just charging forward, and I suppose that could be realistic, but this gives me the sense of more of a war band kind of thing than an organized fight by rank and column kind of thing. And the reason I'm zooming out is I'm going to move these guys back for a second, and I'm going to bring up the other models I just finished this past week. So these are the legionary models, and the way that this kit is designed is you can have one rank in the front that all has drawn swords, and then you can have the next rank that's all getting ready to throw its pila, and the third rank that's just kind of standing there. Like, these guys seem much more deliberate and orderly, whereas I'll move these guys up a little bit. These models seem like they're just charging forward. It gives, and I'm not saying that was the intention, it gives the appearance that these guys are more like Gallic fighters, or somebody just charging pell-mell into their opponents. And I don't know that that's the case. Maybe you just caught these guys in a moment in time where they're just all charging forward, and these guys are being very deliberate, and that's not, one of there are different moments in time in a battle, but it does, when you line them up on the table and you've got a unit that, if these guys are supposed to be almost just as good in many cases as these guys, there seems to be a little bit of discontinuity between the way they're modeled. So again, this is not a major gripe, and I'm not poo-pooing this kit by any means. In fact, I think it's a really good one. So I'm going to zoom in here again. They do look really good when they're ranked up. It's kind of hard to tell right now because you've got these models that are black and I dusted up with white. So I think they'll look a lot better soon. I do like the dynamism, the movement you have. I think that these guys show that better. I'll zoom out so I can get the whole thing. Than the other ones do. They seem a little bit too eager or too unorganized. I'm not sure if that would have been the case. You know, maybe after they've been whittled down. Obviously, spearmen fight differently than units with pila and things like that. So these are just my thoughts on the kit. I did want to show these really quick because I forgot to earlier. So this is the transfer set that you get. So you could paint the shields any color you wanted. I picked green just to offset the red a little bit. And so you get 30 of these, so they give you extra, which is nice in case you goof them up. But I would say that Warlord transfers are some of the best I've ever had to deal with. So I really like the metal command models, except for that guy. He's just not bad. It's just not the best. But the plastic itself is really easy to work with. Not a lot of mold lines. It assembles easily. It's pretty clear. My only gripe would be the ranking and kind of the disorganized way that the unit is set up. So still, I give it a big thumbs up from Warlord Games for coming up with this unit. And so my goal before the next video is I'm going to finish up the last 8, and then I will have 2 complete units. I do have a Testudo model on its way, which I hope I can get through in 1 week. Because if you've seen it from Warlord Games, it essentially it's just the cohort or the century or whatever, however you want to play it. They've all got their shields up, so essentially it's just painting a lot of shields, painting legs that are sticking out, whatever heads you can see, and then applying a lot of transfers, which shouldn't take too long. So the guy I'm getting ready to play with, I think he's I may have set the hook on the Hail Caesar. I play a lot of bolt action with him, not a lot. We're starting to play more bolt action together, which is great. Even though my interest right now is much more in Hail Caesar. But he, I think, is interested in doing another army, a Hail Caesar army. So I'm in more of a rush to get these together because it is kind of daunting how much stuff you need to have for a Hail Caesar army, how many units you have to have, how many divisions you need to have. I'm not even done with 1 division yet. You're supposed to have 2 or 3. Anyways, that will move me along. So hopefully by next weekend I will have the remaining 8 Auxiliary Infantry painted up, and I will have that to show off. And I'll finish the movement tray, which I paint the same color as the edges of the base. And we'll have another infantry unit down and out. So welcome your comments as always. And if you have any questions on paint schemes, I'm more than happy to share. I'm still debating doing kind of a tutorial on just an average legionary or an average auxilia and just go through it, paint color by paint color. If people are interested in that, let me know. Continue to use the dip method, continue to like it. So hope you guys are having fun in the hobby, having fun wargaming, having a great week, or hope you do have a great week. And I will talk to you soon.